How to overcome fear. Death was walking down the road one day. A man met Death and said, "Where are you going?" So Death said, "I am going to kill 1,000 people. I am on my job." And then he met Death after 2 days. And he told Death, "You told me you're going to kill 1,000 people, but you killed 10,000 people, and that's not fair." Death said, "I killed only 1,000, fear killed other 9,000. Is fear real? Yes, fear is real. Sometimes it can be just imaginary. We fear that what is going to happen, what has happened to the next family is going to happen to us. But there are some genuine fears. One is a fear of rejection. You fear that people are going to reject you. And so what you do, you try to put on in order to be accepted by people. And the more you try to put on, the more you are rejected. Then you have the fear of pain. You don't want to suppress it. You don't want people to know that you're going through that pain. It could be a pain of separation. It could be a physical pain. It could be an emotional pain. And so you suppress that pain. And the more you suppress it, the more it hurts. Then you have a fear of future. You're so uncertain. And because there is a fear of future, you live in anxiety. There is suspicion of situations around you. You're suspicious of people because the fear of future grips you. Then you have a fear of failure. In the past, you have experienced that, and constantly you have this fear, will I do well or am I going to fail? And because of this fear of failure, you totally withdraw. You don't want to be part of a community. You begin to cut yourself off. Now listen very carefully. When fear grips you, there can be a lot of repercussions. One, there could be loneliness. You don't want to meet people. You want to be all by yourself. And sometimes fear can cause that irritation. You snap at people. Now, how do we overcome this fear? Let me again take you to the Bible. The Bible tells me there was a man called Bartimaeus. He was blind. He was a beggar. Now listen very carefully. He was blind. He was a social outcast. He was a beggar. He was rejected. And every day he comes on to sit on the Jericho road waiting for people to help him. And that day Jesus walked by. And he asked them, who is the one who is passing by? They said, Jesus of Nazareth. So Bartimaeus shouted, Jesus, son of David, have mercy upon me. And you know what? People tried to discourage him. People told him not to shout. But only a blind man knows the pain of being blind. Only a blind man knows what it is to be rejected. Only a beggar knows what it is to be looked down upon. And he did not listen to words of discouragement. He shouted all the more, Jesus, son of David, have mercy upon me. But look at what happened. When he shouted, Jesus stopped. And I like that verse. Jesus stopped and called Bartimaeus. Isn't it wonderful? May I say this? The cry of a lonely person, the cry of a person who is gripped with fear, his voice is like a thunder in the ears of a loving Lord. Even now, you can call upon him and you can overcome that fear because he is the one who said, fear not, for I am with you. The other person the Bible talks about was a woman who was bleeding for 12 years. She spent a lot of money. She visited a lot of doctors, but nothing happened. If I was in her place, I would have given up. But look at this lady. Even though the place was crowded, she took courage. She crawled and touched the hem of his garment, and she was healed. Now you're asking me, tell me very simply how to overcome my fear. 2 words, will and faith. You need to have that will to rise up from your fear, and you need to have a faith in the Lord who said, fear not, for I am with you. And Jesus Christ will give you that trust, that faith, that confidence to overcome that fear. I think it was Martin Luther who said, Fear knocked at the door, faith answered, and there was no one. Would you just respond? Would you call upon Christ? Whatever your fears are, just surrender to Him. Talk about it, and you will receive strength to overcome. God bless.